Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Five Rounds Podcast, the only podcast out there with the cardio for those deep water championship rounds. I am Mags, and I've just finished watching UFC Vegas 49, headlined by Islam Makhachev taking on Bobby King Green. Bobby was the very, very late replacement for the injured Beniel Dariush. Bobby obviously fought just a couple of weeks ago in a very hard victory over Nasrat Haqparast. But before we get to that, let's quickly run through these prelims. Started the show with Carlos Hernandez getting the decision against Victor Altamirano in the flyweight division. Then we jumped up to the welterweights for the first finish of the night, first round sub for Ramiz Brahimaj against Michael Gilmore. Go back down to the featherweight division. We got Jonathan Martinez getting the decision against Alejandro Perez. In the lightweight division, another sub, first round again. This time Terence McKinney gets the victory over Fares Zayam. Then in the women's division, we had a decision for Josiane Nunes against Ramona Pascual. And then we finished up the prelims with Ignacio Bahamondes getting the third round sub against Zhu Rong. If you remember from the weigh-ins, Zhu missed weight by a hell of a lot. Got fined, I think, about 40% of his purse all told. So yeah, not a good day at the office there for Zhu Rong. Going into the main card, 5 fights on this card. Opened with Armen Petrosian taking on Gregory Rodriguez. First round, very, very patient. Not a lot of output from both guys, to be fair. If anything, I think Petrosian edged it in terms of numbers, but in terms of shots, Rodriguez looked like he hurt Petrosian with pretty much every single blow. There's a glancing right hand that looked like it absolutely rocked Petrosian, but all the way through this fight, Armen showed he has got a chin made out of granite, giving away a lot of reach in this fight, so he knew he had to kind of duck and weave and get in and out of the pocket of Gregory Rodriguez, and he used his legs very, very well, landing not only low leg kicks but also kicks to the body, which really kind of frustrated Rodriguez, who was looking to push forward. Anyone who knows Gregory Rodriguez's style would know that he tends to like the fights to go to the ground pretty quickly, but yeah, no kind of hint of that in the first, or really in the majority of the second. I think it only takes to the last minute or so that Rodriguez actually takes it to the floor, and that's only when he's actually been rocked and wobbled himself by some really good shots by Petrosian. Halfway through that second round, Petrosian, the two guys started standing and banging, really kind of laying into each other, but for every hard shot that Rodriguez was landing, Petrosian was landing 3 or 4 of those kind of 50% strikes, which really it took a lot of the impetus out of Rodriguez. It was a much closer fight in terms of numbers. I think Rodriguez threw a lot more, and obviously got that takedown, but I still think that Petrosian did well in his takedown defence, but also was able to increase his output, so he certainly looked at least like he was getting the best out of these 2 rounds. Third round, again, Petrosian goes to what was earning him a lot of those opportunities, and that's the shots to the legs. Rodriguez started really kind of landing some huge shots. Petrosian ends up with a busted cut above the nose. Rodriguez looks for the takedown, gets the back, is able to attack the leg. We almost saw like a leg lock / heel hook. Petrosian able to kind of fend that off, but the blood really started pouring from his face. But again, like I said earlier on, he's got a chin like granite, and he's able to fend off a lot of the big shots from Rodriguez. As they get back to the feet with about 2 minutes to go, they both start just absolutely laying into each other again. Really, really fast paced. Loads of big shots being thrown. Rodriguez landing big right hands. Patrician landing really stinging jabs, following up with kicks to the body. Rodriguez has to end the round with another takedown, but he's stuffed at the end, and the judges were pretty unanimous in giving this fight to Arman Patrician. One judge gave in all 3 rounds to Arman, which is a brave move, I suppose. I think that Rodriguez at least deserved 1 round, but a very, very exciting, energetic fight to open this card with. So let's drop into the second fight of the card, and it'll be our first visit to the lightweight division. Joel Alvarez taking on Arman Tsarukyan. Really good fight. Arman Tsarukyan starts to try and take the lead, knowing that Alvarez is a good 7 inches taller, one of the tallest lightweights in the whole division. I think he's about 6'4". Really rangy fighter. So Tsarukyan knows he has to get inside and essentially his whole game plan is get this fight to the ground. Tsarukyan is obviously elite level grappling, and that's his bread and butter. And you could be 6'4" on your feet, but on the ground everybody's the same size, I suppose. We get Alvarez trying for an early low kick. Tsarukyan is able to catch it, trips him up. Alvarez is able to get on his back and tries to get the armbar from the bottom. Tsarukyan is able to just nicely control and kind of get in the guard of Alvarez, take his time, land a few short, dangerous elbows, really kind of abusing the face of Alvarez, to the point where end of the first round, before we could even get Alvarez to the corner, the cutmen were in straight on him to mop up that cut right on the bridge of the nose, right in between both eyes. A lot of punishment taken by Alvarez from Tsarukyan, especially from the elbow, and when you're taking shots from such a well-rounded fighter like Tsarukyan, you can't just defend the shots. You've also got to defend the position as well, because every time Alvarez looked like he wanted to stop the shots, his arms were in danger of getting locked into some sort of armbar or some sort of dart choke, so he really kind of had to struggle. Second round, Tsarukyan, quick jab, reopens that cut again straight away, takedown. Alvarez tried to go for the guillotine, but with the blood and the kind of greasing up of Alvarez, it meant that Tsarukyan was able to quickly transition into side control, landing short punches, landing elbows, and just blood started just pouring from Alvarez's face. Every time his head went down, you could see his eye sockets just filling up with blood. Tried to get back to his feet, but Tsarukyan is able to just keep him grounded on that canvas. Alvarez did manage to get to his knees, and Tsarukyan got to his back and was just punching him from around the corner. Just blood absolutely pouring all over the canvas, and Chris Tononia, the referee, had absolutely no option than to stop this fight. A massive victory for Arman Tsarukyan in an event where the light heavyweight title situation may get sorted out. With Arman Tsarukyan, we may be looking at a future contender for that title. A great victory for him. So going into this middle fight on the card, we had Priscilla Cachoeira taking on Ji Young Kim in the women's flyweight division. And to be fair, breaking down these fights round by round kind of does it an injustice, because all three of these fights, these rounds were so razor thin. Both ladies ended up the fight bloodied and bruised up. Kim, the longer, slather, more rangy fighter, Kachera with that kind of almost, I mean, her nickname is Zombie, with that kind of always going forward, never say die attitude, just that sheer, just passion and aggression, and all the way through the fight they were just trading shots, one for the other, kicks traded, punches traded, jabs traded, hooks, grappling against the fence. So, like I said, it's all these rounds essentially could be blended into one. Both women giving their absolute all in this fight, and both coming out looking the worst for wear. The issue is just how you judge these really close rounds. I mean, for example, the first round, would you give it to Kachera because she got the takedown in the last few seconds, or do you give it to Kim because she landed the crisper, the more output? Or do you go back to giving it to Kachera because she looked to land bigger shots, and when she did land, they clearly hurt Kim a lot more, and that was again the kind of the makeup of the fight all the way through, that Kim was landing a lot of volume, but Kachera was looking to load up on those huge bombs. And then when they got into the nitty-gritty, both were trying to land loads and loads of shots in the pocket, in the form box style of grappling. Kachera started to land a lot more of those big lefts in this second round, but Kim still was able to turn up that output and landed the jab pretty much every single time. No real attempts at takedown in the second round. In the third, again, it was more about the standing and banging between these two, and how, again, Kachera's power was kind of negated, I suppose, by Kim's output. Again, both women absolutely busted up. For me, I would have said that Kim, because of the output and because of the accuracy, should have taken the fight, but the judges all give it 29-28 to Priscilla Kachera. It's a big victory for her. Should quickly move up the rankings in that flyweight division. I mean, you're into a hiding for nothing when you know you've got to face Valentina Shevchenko, but certainly that's a big victory, and it should move Priscilla up the rankings quite significantly. So let's talk this co-main event. Misha Serkinov had a very mixed UFC career. Started at light heavyweight, got some decent victories there. Found he quickly reached his level, dropped down to 185, and now he's still kind of middling there. He maybe just hasn't found his footing or found his right division. But going into this fight against a very dangerous Wellington Turman, another fighter who started pretty brightly but has kind of fallen off a little bit, and really needs to start picking up win after win to gain a little bit of momentum and push to maybe perhaps being recognised as one of those top 15s and hopefully getting a future title shot. Didn't start particularly well for Shirkinov. He attempts a low kick at first. Turman is able to land some punches over the top. Turman goes for the clinch, wants to go for the takedown. We see Wellington Turman then take the back, jumps up, gets the backpack, and for the majority of the round, he sat on the back of Misha Serkinov, attempted to get the arm under the neck for the rear naked. Misha does a really good job of kind of battling that, but eventually when you're carrying somebody's weight, you are going to make a mistake, and Turman does slide that left arm underneath the neck, tries to go for a bit of a squeeze. It looks a lot like this fight's done and dusted. Misha Serkinov is able to throw Turman off, whether it's the kind of distribution of weight. His only real option should have been to slam Wellington and hope that releases the grip, but somehow he's able to essentially judo throw Wellington off onto the canvas, which gives Serkinov the opportunity to get the standing position on his grounded opponent. Turman tries to go for the legs, but instead we see Serkinov then drop to the ground, grab the Wellington's head and squeeze a north and south, kind of almost like a modified doors choke. Very, very tight. Ends up looks as if Wellington may be going out, but he's able to twist and turn and escape, but we see Serkinov posture up, takes the back. Turman just lets him take control, allows for himself a little bit of rest, but as the whistle goes, what an exciting first round. They pretty much had it all if you're into your technical grappling style of MMA. Both guys with big opportunities to finish this fight pretty early. But it's all over by the shanty when we get into the second round. Very quick engagement as Turman looks to take the momentum. Serkinov is circling on the outside. Turman lands a good couple of elbows. Serkinov goes for the trip, ends up falling into Turman's guard. Turman is able to quickly transition that into a beautiful armbar. 1 second in that armbar, and Misha knows that the gig is up. Has to tap out, and Wellington Turman pulls off a monumental victory that he almost had in the first round, then almost lost, and able to pull it back in. So, outstanding victory there for Wellington Turman. So, let's get into this main event. As I said earlier, is Islam Makhachev. Really, in my view, take it for what it is. I think he should have a title shot a long time ago. And he's taking on Bobby King Green, who's just come off that hard-fought victory over Nasrat Haqparast a couple of weeks ago. This fight actually taking place at catch weight, 160 pounds, because obviously Bobby had to rehydrate after the weigh-in last time, and for him taking this fight on 2 weeks, absolutely great showing. And so glad that he's finally getting those main event checks. Definitely deserves them, but he's going up against arguably the best lightweight in the world today. As much as I loved guys like Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev may be the most rounded fighter in the UFC, very much in that Habib mould of being very sambo, grappling focused, but he also has absolute knockout power. So let's get into this fight. Not really a lot to talk about. This is pretty much a bullying all the way through. We see Makhachev go for a quick high kick, which he just whiffs on. Green tries to land some of those beautiful kind of shoulder thrust shots that he's getting so well known for. Makhachev is able to grab the head, but just isn't able to take the fight to the ground. Then we see Green landing a couple of jabs, slips a couple more punches. Makhachev is able to rush forward, get the clinch, drive the action to the fence. Bobby Green knows where this fight is looking to go, and he does a great job of kind of combating that. But eventually, when Makhachev wants to take you down, he's going to take you down, and he basically backs up a little bit, reshoots him for the takedown. Is able to lock his hands together, which essentially stunts Bobby Green's legs, lifts him up a little bit, drags the fight to the ground, and now this is dangerous placement for Bobby Green. He's not in a good position at all. He's trying to essentially turn his hips, so he's almost led in the kind of the recovery position with his legs almost curled up fetally, which just gives Makhachev all the time in the world to smother and pressure Bobby Green. Starts leaning into his face with the shoulder, goes to isolate the right arm, which Bobby's able to combat over. But that gives Makhachev the opportunity to step over, get into mount, landing some big shots. Bobby is not comfortable in this position whatsoever. Tries to turn to give his back up, but Makhachev is heavy with those big shots. He's got Green all tied up, and absolutely no way that Green can defend. Herb Dean eventually has no reason to keep this fight going. Bobby Green had no ability to defend. Makhachev actually wasn't happy about the stoppage. I think he wanted to go for the decisive finish, but a big victory. And in the post-fight, Makhachev essentially said what he's been saying for the last year or so, that he's ready for that title shot. That he feels sorry for Dariush not being able to make the fight, and he's sure that the guys will meet up somewhere down the line. But right now his focus is on winning that title, which is fair play. So yeah, that essentially wraps up UFC Vegas 49. Islam Makhachev doing what he does best, and that's finishing fights very early. Next week, it is numbered pay-per-view event. It's UFC 272. Pretty stacked card. Sergey Spivak taking on Greg Hardy. I'm all over Sergey Spivak for that one. Kevin Holland, Alex Oliveira, Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell, Rafael Dos Anjos taking on Rafael Fiziev, and of course the huge fight, the grudge match in the welterweight division, Street Jesus Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington. So that is going to be an absolute banger. So tune in next week to hear what I think about that show. But other than that, that's pretty much all from me at 5 Rounds. Follow me on Twitter at PodfatherMags. Follow me on that TikTok thing at MagsAllPods. Follow the show at 5 Rounds Pod. Follow Carlos as well whilst you're there. He's Kirby_Carlos. And whilst you are here listening on Chairshot, definitely go and check out some of the other creators on here. Way more talented and way more skilled than me at this content creation game, whether that's in audio form or whether that's written on the website where you can find news and opinion pieces. And also, one last thing, go and check out Pro Wrestling Tees / the Chairshot, where you can get plenty of top draw merch, especially in that soft style for the Twitterless heroine Miranda Morales. So yeah, check all those out. Thank you all for listening, and that is the end.